Hey there, welcome back, or welcome for the first time. Either way, I'm really glad you're here. Tonight, we're heading way back in time. Back to the marble columns, crowded forums, and dusty sandals of ancient Rome. It might sound glorious, togas, but trust me, if you woke up in a Roman city, you'd be begging to come back to the 21st century before lunchtime. Before we dive into this journey, do me a small favor. Tap the like button, and if you're enjoying these sleepy dives into weird, difficult, or forgotten corners of history, consider subscribing to the channel. And hey, I love reading your comments. Tell me where you're listening from, or how you stumbled on this little corner of YouTube. Whether you're here to sleep, chill, or just escape your day, I'm really glad you found your way here. Alright, take a breath, get comfy. Let's take a slow, sleepy walk through a day in ancient Rome. And why you, my friend, probably wouldn't survive it. The year is around 120 CE. The Roman Empire is at its peak. Rome is the beating heart of a sprawling empire, a city of over 1 million people. The largest metropolis the Western world had ever seen. You open your eyes, not to the hum of traffic or birdsong, but to the sound of people shouting Latin, carts rolling over cobblestones, and the occasional goat bleating outside your window. You're lying on a stone platform with a thin blanket. Soft beds, reserved for the rich. You're in a tenement house, called an insula, stacked several stories high, made of wood and brick. It leans a little, they all do. Fires are common. Collapses, too. You sleep light. Your room has no running water, no toilet, no kitchen. If you're lucky, there's a communal latrine a few floors down. If not, you use a chamber pot and dump it out the window. Yep, that's where the streets get their aroma. You get dressed. Simple tunic, worn sandals, and maybe a belt. You haven't bathed today. In fact, you probably haven't bathed all week. Unless you're wealthy enough to visit the public baths. Which, to be fair, are more about gossip and politics than hygiene. Breakfast, if you eat at all, it's bread, maybe dipped in wine or vinegar. No coffee, no fruit smoothie, no Instagram photo. Just hard, dry bread and maybe an olive. And then, it's time to work. If you're poor, and most people are, you're heading to a workshop, a field, or maybe a public project. Digging, lifting, hauling. Slavery is everywhere. If you're free, you're still competing with enslaved labor for every job. And the boss, he doesn't care if your back hurts. If you complain, there's always someone else desperate enough to take your place. If you're wealthy, maybe you're a merchant, a politician, or a landowner. You probably never visit the actual farm you own. Instead, you walk the forum, gossip with senators, and pretend to care about philosophy. You might stop by the baths, the social hub of Roman life. There is a strict order. Hot room, warm room, cold plunge. People go there to talk politics, strike deals, and if we're honest, show off their bodies. The water's not exactly clean. It's recycled, and so is the sponge on a stick people use instead of toilet paper. You try not to think about it. Now, let's talk streets. They're crowded, filthy, loud. Vendors yell over each other. Musicians play badly. Children run underfoot. There are no sidewalks, no traffic signs, just a chaotic dance of carts, animals, and feet. You dodge piles of waste. Human, animal, food. It's all out there. The city has sewers, sure, but mostly for the rich neighborhoods. Everyone else just improvises. Midday arrives. The sun blazes. There's no air conditioning. If you're working outside, you're sweating through your tunic. If you're inside, you're probably inhaling smoke or dust. Lunch, leftovers, maybe, more bread, some salted fish. If you're lucky, a little wine. Everyone drinks wine. Often watered down. The water alone isn't safe. Afternoon drags on. Maybe you visit a temple. Maybe you pray to Jupiter or Mars or one of a dozen gods. Religion is everywhere. Superstition, too. Omens, curses, dreams, they matter. You might even check your horoscope. Yes, Romans loved astrology. As the day winds down, the rich return home to their villas. Their floors are decorated with mosaics. Their slaves serve wine and fruit. If you're a guest, you might attend a dinner party. Think multiple courses, reclining couches, and long speeches about absolutely nothing. But if you're not rich, which you probably aren't, you're just heading home. Maybe you stop by a street vendor for poles. A thick, grainy porridge that tastes like boiled cardboard. Night falls. And with it, danger. There are no police. No lights. The city turns pitch black. Gangs roam the streets. Fires spread fast. You stay indoors. If you need light, it's a candle or oil lamp. Expensive. Smoky. You lay down, exhausted, dirty, maybe sore from a day of labor. You can hear shouting from the apartment next door. Someone is drunk. Someone's fighting. You don't ask questions. You close your eyes. And that's just one day. And we haven't even talked about illness, disease, or what happens if you get accused of a crime. Trials are brutal. The punishments, even worse. You could be whipped, exiled, crucified, or forced to fight in the arena. If you're a woman, your rights are limited. Marriage is often arranged. You're expected to raise children, run the home, and never, ever make a scene. If you're enslaved, life is harsher still. You are property. You can be sold, beaten, discarded. Your fate depends entirely on the mood of your master. Even among the free, social class defines everything. And moving up, almost impossible. And yet, Rome was also vibrant. People sang, laughed, told stories. They debated ideas, worshipped their gods, celebrated festivals with music and fire. They were human, just like us, hungry for meaning, searching for joy, hoping for something more. Still, would you last a day there? Let's be honest. Probably not. But you made it through the story, and maybe now, your own bed feels a little softer. So for now, relax. Let the noise of the Roman Forum fade away. Let the candlelight flicker out and drift off, knowing that you live in a time with toothpaste, antibiotics, and decent mattresses. If you're still with me, thanks for listening. Sleep well, dream strange, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night.